Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I have 5-minute tips and tricks for you today for both posts and pages on your Libraries Win website. I'm going to begin with a couple of tips about posts. If you have your standard post editor up, you may notice that there are a bunch of boxes all around. Something to be aware of is that these boxes, these widgets, can move. And in fact, you can accidentally move them and suddenly not be able to find something that you're used to looking for, or you can move them intentionally to rearrange your workspace more efficiently. For example, it may happen that all of a sudden you're pretty used to looking for your featured image box, and you look over there one day and it's gone. It's not over in this corner. It is possible that it got pulled and dragged over into a different place, and now it's really hard to find. But all you need to do is look around and find it and bring it back to where you want it. Some of the more commonly used boxes that most of us are pretty used to having on that right-hand side would be your Publish box, your Categories box, your Featured Image, and your Publish Press Future widget box. You can, if you're not using format or tags, you can drop those down to the bottom, and you can also close them so that they're not taking up scroll space on your page. And reordering them can happen also if you click on those carrots. All of a sudden, those are moving around and putting themselves in different orders, but you can go back and reorder those. So that's tip number one. You can arrange these boxes on your editor page however you feel fit works best for you. Tip number two, as we're looking at these boxes, some of them we don't use, the excerpt field might be one that could come in handy for you. The role of the excerpt is to override the content of what you see in your editor box on the post slider itself. So when I type in, this is an excerpt of a post down here, this information that I have up in the text block will not appear on the post slider on the home page. Only this will. This gives you an opportunity to make it shorter, clearer, or bring some information that you want to definitely appear on the home page up onto that post slider without having to make sure that that happens or to have it only have that much appear rather than a whole 200 characters or so that is set up. We will look at how that works in 1 second, but before I do that, I also want to show you one other trick. You have probably noticed that when you press enter within your text editor block here, it automatically double spaces. So after this first sentence, which says I want my lines in my text block not to have a space between them, if I press enter, it automatically double spaces. And this is true when you preview the text. So if I preview my post right now, I'm going to have my featured image, and I have a post, or I have a text with a space between them. If I wanted those lines to appear together, there is a trick. Click in front of at the end of the sentence that you are completed with, press the Shift plus Enter, and this creates a single line break rather than a double line break. So if I preview this text now, I now have a space between the first two ones when I pressed Enter alone, but I have single space between the next two blocks of text, or 2 lines of text. So this gives you a little more control about the appearance of your text on the front end. This also works in Divi modules. So if you are on a page and you have a list of text, you can use the Shift Enter key within that page in a Divi module, a text module, a toggle module, of any of those other modules that contain standard text. So now we'll take a look at what this looks like when I go back and I publish this. Rather than having I want my lines of text appear on the post slider, we will have this is an excerpt of the post appear. So I'm going to publish this. and go to my home page and refresh my home page. And now I have, this is a sample post with this is an excerpt of the post, rather than having the entire block of text about pressing enter appear there. So there is your tip for 3 tips for managing posts. I am going to unpublish this one and come back in here and press it to draft so it's not appearing on our website. Now I will move to pages. Here is something that we have learned about viewing pages. So the difference here, this is a post, and for most of us, we are using the standard WordPress editor for creating posts. When you come to creating pages, this is where in Divi we have talked about the front end, the back end, and the Divi block editor. I am currently looking at the block editor back end of the website. Many of us are now familiar with clicking on Build on the front end, and it will bring up as it loads, it will bring up the visual editor version of the page. So here's the page that I'm trying to edit, and it has all of this block information. If I go back to exit the visual builder, edit page. Click on edit page, and I'm back to my block editor. There is a way to see the way it looks on the front end within here. Above the purple line of the Divi builder, there is a wideframe view, which is what you are looking at right now. The wideframe view is what we have been referring to as the back end editor. If I slide over one and I click on the desktop view, now I have that same front end visual builder view, but I am still on the back end side. I can also click on tablet view to view how this website page would look like on a tablet, and I can click on phone view. So I have those 3 views available to me within that traditional back end editor. Note, on the front end, you have the same choices. So as I come to build on the front end with the visual builder, I have the purple button down below, and I have the 3 views, which we've used to look at our tablet and our phone view. But down here with the tablet, now off to that left-hand side, I also have the wideframe view. So I'm on the front end, but I can see the blocks. This might help. Many of you I've advised to have 2 tabs open so that you can work on both ends at the same time. But this may help you be able to work wherever you are within the block editor wideframe view, or within the desktop view or the phone view. So that gives you some more flexibility for editing pages. There you go, 8.5 minutes of tips and tricks from us at the library's WIN website service. I hope you find this informative, and we'll talk to you again soon.